All right, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Tacos en Europa. I am Jorge.
And my name is Edgar.
And you guys already know this is the only podcast that tells you every single thing that happens with all the Mexican players over in Europe. You can listen to us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. You can also hear us on YouTube and follow us on any social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, wherever you like to get your social media. Just go ahead and look up Tacos en Europa and you will find us. ENG. Very tough week for us right now. Very tough weekend after that great FIFA window. So it's understandable. We got a lot of things to talk about, man. So let's go ahead and start getting into it. First with England. Fulham, actually, we see no activity from them because they will have a very important test on Monday against Tottenham. So no Raul Jimenez this week.
A derby.
A London derby. And we move over to another London team, which is West Ham United and Edson Alvarez, who have a game against Aston Villa, who just get ran through in a 4-1 loss. 90 minutes for Edson Alvarez, who just can't seem to find his head over there after having a great FIFA window as well.
Yeah, you're mentioning his head, his legs. He was like done by like the 45 minute. He shouldn't have played this game because he was really tired, and you could tell. When we like the watchers can tell, it's rough.
Ends the game with no yellow card, so he's still safe for the next game. But if I'm him, I'm looking to get that card soon, so he doesn't have to come get in a more difficult match further in the season.
Yeah, especially the next game is Everton. This was a good game for him to get it.
Exactly. So hopefully he does get it in a very winnable game for the next one. So going over to Spain, we have Real Betis and Andrés Guardado versus Getafe, the number one public enemy in the world right now. He actually starts this game, Andrés Guardado, and he plays 60 minutes. Again, very solid, very interesting. He has 4 to 6 long balls. I think he does pretty much what we expected him to do, but even a little more, shutting down those Getafe attackers along the way.
Yeah, especially if you think he was playing on the right, like unusually, because they rested Guido Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
He played with Argentina this window, so they were giving him a little like space to rest before the Europa League match in the week during the week. So Guardado did fine. He's good enough. He played on the right, as we say, like he's not used to it, but he was good, and like it's okay. I'm really happy whenever we hear like, oh, he's still there, he's playing fine, he's still an important part of the team, and he can just like hold on for them to get the starters in a good place.
Yeah, and they do unfortunately end up in a 1-1 tie, so they come short of that win against this team that to me was pretty beatable, but I mean a lot of resting here going on, so nothing much you can do. Going over to Las Palmas with Julián Araujo versus Rayo Vallecano, another winnable game, if you ask me, just based on the form that Las Palmas has had since the beginning of the season. They lose it only 1-0, so they do kind of keep that one goal or less style coming in. You know, they had, I think, like one time Madrid scored 2 on them, and that's about it. So they do keep their considered goals low once again. Julián Araujo comes in the 45th minute after the injury that kept them out from the national team.
Yes, and apparently he was like well received by the fans. You know, like they were happy to see him back.
So yeah, like he came in and people were applauding him every time he touched the ball. He came in and his first 2 actions were just like shutting down these 2 plays that were close to being goals. And it was just like the fans exploded at him. So I think it might have to do with like his personality, like with the pink hair, stuff like that. He's like a memorable player. So I think they have like a lot of heart for him, you know?
Yeah, and the fact that he is very intense, you know, like he's always giving it his all, even if his all maybe not, he's not like superstar. You still like those players in your team.
And it's also refreshing here to have once again like another player that is not battling to be in a starting spot in the team. You know, he's a starter. Everybody knows. The fans are happy to see him back, you know, so there's no worry for him here in this Las Palmas squad. Going over to Cesar Montes, a little bit of more bad news here versus Girona, one of the most unexpectedly informed teams in La Liga. They actually start this game winning 2-0. I'm thinking, man, if Cesar Montes and this defensive line can just hold on for the rest of the 75 minutes that were left, because they scored them pretty early, we can maybe take this win. And out of nowhere,
but alas, that did not happen.
That did not happen. And before the half ended, They literally scored 3 goals to come up ahead. Girona's winning this game 3-2 by the half. They end up winning it 5-2 because of a terrible defensive performance from Cesar Montes and the rest of the Almeria defense.
Yeah, but and not just the defense. The whole midfield is gone with this team when they're defending. Just walk through them. Like Almeria needs a changing system. That's the main thing they need. We always talk about the defenders being in the picture of the goal. Like you are, if you are next to the guy that scores, it's your fault.
Yeah.
So Montes was often in the picture of these 5 goals because he was the only one going to the attacker, and the whole system just seemed like very uncoordinated. It's really sad to see a team at this level defending this bad.
Yeah, and I'm looking right here at their previous scores. Like, they have a very rare game where Girona's actually scoring more than 1. And I think they just wasted that, because your offense is actually giving you something. They're giving you those 2 goals, and now everyone below them just isn't doing the work to be able to keep that lead. And that's got to be frustrating as a forward, because those don't come very often for a team like Almeria.
Yes. But, I mean, what you gonna do?
Yeah, change the system. That's what you're gonna do, man. Put
Hopefully the coach does something,
and maybe not even a 3 at the back. Maybe just like a very tough, like a 4-4-2 or something, where you literally because the wide areas were just like extremely susceptible, man. Every time they went in, the fullbacks just could not handle those wingers.
Maybe he just needs like to drill them to keep them compact, like to keep like a very low block. But I don't know. Still, it's his first game. Girona is one of the better teams in La Liga right now. He's probably like 3rd best, maybe. So it was a hard game always for them. So
yeah,
we have to wait and see.
Going over to Italy, we're going to go ahead and speak Sporting on this one because we don't see anything from both of our guys. So we didn't see anything from both of our guys over there. So let's go over to Italy with Johan Vazquez and Genoa versus the big Atalanta. He plays 90 minutes in a game that is season pretty solid for most of it. They do end up losing 2-0, which, kind of dies down to our giant killer Genoa identity that we were hoping for this season. But tell me a little bit about Johan Vazquez and his game for these 90 minutes.
He was great. He was playing as a mixed left center back, sometimes playing like a fullback, and sometimes as the left in a system of 3. Mm-hmm. He was really good. He was the best defender in this game again. He is really, really good, and he's becoming very safe with the ball. Mm-hmm. Like, you can make him lose a pass. And that's like the biggest improvement in his game, because that was his biggest weakness. In this game, he threw 39 passes. Mm-hmm. Of those, he missed 3. Wow. And those were long passes. That's a great number for him. That's over 90% accuracy.
Yeah.
So, other than that, he did like 12 defensive actions. They were like, they could have gone for the game, but the injury of the Argentinian without neck, like Retegui or something like it. Yeah, that's like, it really hampered them on the offensive. So
he's that guy.
Still, Genoa isn't gonna drop the going to relegation battle this season. They're gonna stay on the middle table. I feel they're really good defending right now.
Yeah, Retegui is really like the guy that does everything for their attack. So missing him is really going to be big for them for these couple of games. And I mean, let's talk about first of that first goal they conceded, which was pretty much like a handball that could have really gone either way.
It was very gray area. It could have been a goal. It could have been a handball. It wasn't like the Pulisic one last week.
Yeah, what I'm saying is it was another one of those situations where it's like it could have been avoided, could have been taken away, just gone 50-50. So really, it's only one of those one clear goal that happened in this match. To me, it was a handball, but again, that's up to
this wasn't a handball. The last one was a handball.
I think he literally he stopped it. You can see him kind of go like this, and I don't know if he really got to touch it, but the reflex kind of went like.
Is the hand he has?
You know what I mean? Like a
It's the
little.
hand he has on the on the floor, so that one can't be a handball because he's doing it to
No, because
raise
he's
himself.
holding himself, but then you can see him kind of like go towards it as well. And I think
I
that's
mean,
what they were checking. I think that's what they were checking. So for Salernitana, we have Memo Ochoa, who's actually relegated to the bench against Cagliari. Cagliari is right now the last place in Serie A. So I guess the new coach, Inzaghi, the other Inzaghi, wanted to try out the new keeper, see what he would give him, and not much, but nothing too bad either. He made 3 stops, and he got 2 scored on him. So you can't say really that he was better.
one very bad
And
keeping
you're
for
talking
him.
about the last team in the table here as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not fully convinced for him to take over Memo's spot as well, because I believe there's not even that much difference in age. I think they're all old,
He's
right?
like 36.
All their keepers are old, so it's not like you're getting a young guy in there to get some experience. So if that's the case, just keep the same guy you've had with the chemistry keep the chemistry going with the defensive line, you know?
What chemistry? They were all sucky.
Well, try to build it.
Yeah.
Going over to Feyenoord, the big talk of the day, Santiago Jimenez, who plays against Vitesse in a 4-0 win. He plays 66 minutes, obviously, as a starter, scores a goal, gives an assist, but unfortunately comes out with an injury in the 66th minute of this game.
Yes, he ends up injured, but it seemed like it's just nothing big. Hopefully, it really stays that way because I mean, we can afford for him to get injured.
Yeah.
But he has a great game. He's learning to play outside the box, like going to the midfield, and he's really a part of the team. Like he isn't just he isn't Lewandowski
Bayern.
with Bayern. You know, before he became like the best forward in the world, he was just the guy that pushes the ball into the goal. No, right now he is Benzema with Real Madrid. He's part of the midfield. He's part of the attacking system. He's part of it all. And Feyenoord are just relentless, completely relentless this whole game.
What I'm liking about him is he has that confidence now, like that. He knows he's pretty much a star player of his team, and I think he sees himself a little more like asking his players for the ball, asking his players like, hey, we should have done this, or I think he's communicating more with his midfield, with his wingers, in order to make that goal happen. That goal that he got was like a great feed from his players as well, and the assist as well, being able to detect his players' movement. So I think you can see like a bit of maturity coming from him. He's still doing a little dive and stuff like that, but other than that, I think he's able to communicate with his team in a way where they can both like come out with a way to succeed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's improving. Like we keep saying, a young player that keeps improving is like what you want in your team, and he's doing that. He's improving. And the bad thing is, he got like tied on the goal tally in the Eredivisie. Like Dubicas from AC Alkmaar is 13 goals, same as Santi.
Yeah, you were right. From an asset 13-13, and he scored 1. So it's gonna be a close one.
It's gonna be a great season for the goal scorers.
Even Luke De Jong, he moved up pretty fast. He only has 7, but compared to what he had before, I think he's moving up pretty fast now.
Yeah, I don't feel like Luke is playing a lot for his wingers and the midfielders, so he's going to like. Sometimes he's not scoring, but he's assisting. So, and now talking about Luke De Jong, we can go to PSV and Chuck Lozano playing against Fortuna as a starter.
Yeah, starter, 68 minutes. It could be due to Noah Lang's injury. It could be because he wanted.
No,
we'll never know.
Because Lang,
the world may never know. Yeah.
Noah Lang was on the bench. Wasn't on the bench. He was on the bleachers watching the game.
But I think it was a very good 68 minutes from Chucky. They did take him off because he couldn't be there for that long. I think by the minute like 50 to 60, you could tell he was out of it. He had to go sit down.
By the 35th or 40th, they weren't. In general, PSV was playing kind of like unfocused, but Lozano especially was just he wasn't comfortable trying to build up. He wanted to play to the space, and they like the rest of the team seemed to be on that wavelength. So it was a tough game, even though they keep their perfect score still. Like they have 9 games, 9 wins. So
Yeah. I mean, he has
you can argue with it.
that great cross on the first goal, if I'm not mistaken. And he's able to get it to Bakayoko, who then assists the player who scores the first goal. So he
Still,
he moved out the ball. He was able to find him, and it was a beautiful, beautiful cross over to the other side of the field. And other than that, I think it was like you said, he was trying to, I don't want to say it was a hero ball moment, but he was trying to kind of be like, okay, this is my chance to prove that I can be a starter for this team. And I don't think he really showed that after the cross.
Yeah, the thing is, he needs to like realize he's more important building to the team than finishing his shots. Like still, I feel we need to give him time, but he needs to really do that change. Like improve that form of his game.
Yeah, he had 2 pretty good shots. One of them before the half end, and another one in the second half, where it was literally like millimeters over the bar. That could have been like just golazos from the top ends, but maybe next one. He needs to keep practicing those shots. Going over to Belgium, we have Genk Arteaga, who has probably, like, I want to say his second best game, his second good game of the season. Nothing bad at all to say for Arteaga right here. He was really good on both sides of the field, and they were able to come up with a 4-0 win.
That's what you keep saying, but I went to the stats, and he has almost he was dribbled by almost the same number of times that he did a defensive action. So
he did get dribbled by three times, but he was doing pretty good on his side. If you ask me, like, the thing is that I don't know if this was a starter game, because even Munoz was on the bench for this one, so that makes me think that the coach was giving some players some rest. So I'm not convinced that he's gonna be in the 11 like permanently.
They're 7 then for the conference.
Over to Greece, AEK Athens versus Asteras. We have Orbelin Pineda. Well, Pizarro, first of all, isn't called up at all for this game, which is a little weird for me since he didn't have any minutes to play during the FIFA window. But Orbelin, who comes in the 45th minute and has a pretty decent game for AEK Athens, I believe. They actually win this game like 2-0. It could have been like 3 or 4.
3-0.
3-0. It could have been like 4 or 5-0. Like I remember at the last goal though, the keeper just straight up gave up. They shot the ball. He just went like this, like he just walked away.
Yeah, the team in general improves with as soon as Orbelin came in. Not because he was so good, but because they just like improved their system. There was this Argentinian narrating the game in my stream, and he was just saying like, oh, as soon as he came in, the football started on the midfield. That's what he was saying. And also a red card for Asteras really helped.
Yeah, which is why I feel like they could have scored a couple more, but and Asteras isn't even let me see what place they're on the table real quick. They're 9th out of 14, so it's like mid-ish table. Yeah, mid-ish table. And then 80 minutes from Luis Chavez over in Russia. I mean, he comes in the and Luis Chavez comes in the 80th minute for against Lokomotiv in Russia in a 3-0 victory. Again, he needed some rest, so they had to put him in towards the end. For our coaches over in Spain, we have Mallorca Vasco Aguirre in a 1-0 defeat against Real Sociedad, and Rafa Marquez with a 3-1 win against Sestao River with Barcelona B. Let's go ahead and talk about the accolades of the week. Who was your player of the week today?
Oh, Santi. I mean, who else?
Yeah, the only person that actually feels like did his job in the sense of like what we're supposed to do in the game as a striker, score a goal and an assist.
Yeah, I mean, Johan could be like in the conversation, but they lose the game. He does well, but Santi scores and assists. So
yeah,
we're going to have to build a new section where it's who else than Santi played well.
Yeah, like a little honorable mention. But no, I think to me with Johan, like if it would have been a clean sheet, then maybe we could have talked about it, but maybe not on this episode. Going over for the game of the week, which one was the best for you?
Feyenoord Vitesse. I really like watching Feyenoord right now. They're completely relentless. Like they're unstoppable.
For me, I'm gonna say Las Palmas Rayo Vallecano, because it was like an even matchup of two teams where really anybody could have taken it. Unfortunately, Rayo does take it towards the end there, and then Las Palmas just can't seem to find a way to be able to take that win. But it seemed like it was coming. Like the whole game, it seemed like it could have been possible. Araujo came in and he did his thing as well. He added so much to the attack and even on the defense. So you really felt like it was going to happen, at least a tie, but just the whole game had me on the edge of my seat, to be honest with you. And going over to the extra column of the podcast, what did you find for us this week?
Well, the only the big rumor this week is that Santi Jimenez has already a deal set in place for the winter window for the transfer market. So we don't know with whom, either how big of a team. We only know that it's one of the 4 big leagues. Yeah. That's the rumor that's going around. Who knows? I hope it leads him to finish the season, because he's having such a good season. But who knows? The awful telenovela of Chivas keeps going. Vega and Chicote and all those guys are going to be removed from the team. Oh no, they're still there. So garbage. Yeah. Then Antuna keeps playing great on the league. He just scored a great goal. The thing is, he and Sepulveda, the striker, are the only good things in Cruz Azul right now. Their defense is garbage. So sadness. I'm talking about garbage defense. Acevedo comes back to the league with Santos getting 4 goals in Azteca against America.
9 stops for Acevedo.
9 saves from Acevedo. He's gonna wish he was injured again, because they're so bad. I know they're not the starter defenders. The center backs are injured, the starters, but you can be this bad,
Do you put them in Chivas?
They defend better than Santos, but Chivas is such a toxic team. I don't know if it works for him. If he plays the same in Chivas as he plays in Santos, he's gonna get called to the national team with a bigger status. But
yeah,
I hope it doesn't hurts him.
Yeah, if you have a Paunovic that is really 100% just trying to eliminate all toxicity and 100% just trying to have a completely different vibe to the team, a different culture in the next season, maybe you can have an Acevedo there as well that can give you a little bit of captainhood as well to add to that better lifestyle.
Wouldn't you rather he went to Tigres?
I don't know, man.
Can you imagine?
He'd be pretty taken care of though.
Yes.
I think either one, give him a competent defense, man. And I think he's gonna give you a good season.
Yeah, even with a pretty sucky defense, he's having a great season.
He's doing good. The only thing he needs is to not be the candidate for the goalie with the most goals received. Yeah, so that's the only thing that's stopping him from being an amazing player. Well, in the eyes of the people,
Yeah.
What else do you have?
Just Monterrey, the players are dying.
Yeah.
They just won against Pumas 1-0.
Bleachers.
Yeah, they had 3 injuries on top of the 75 injuries that they already have. So the bench are only 12-year-olds right now. So
hey man, the League's Cup was half a year ago, bro. We can't blame that anymore.
It's part of it. So just
stuff from that, but it's just they keep going, man. They keep getting shot down. But all right, man. So that's going to be it for this episode of Tacos en Hora. But be sure to follow us on all social media and find us on your favorite podcast platform. We will see you guys next week, talk about the next weekend of European football. We have a lot of European competitions next week. When we have Conference League, Champions League, Europa League, everything. So it's going to be a full episode. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Santi Jimenez comes back to UEFA. Wait for it.